I have a lot of partners here in the U.S., but I think that the global dimension of Atlas Network is what is really unique, and it's tough to explain why it's so inspiring. But for me, when I got into this, 22, 23 years ago, my first job in D.C. was with a think tank working on electricity deregulation, and I think all that's important, but that wasn't going to change the hearts and minds of my old college friends that thought that I was, being used by, capitalist exploiters to do something nefarious. When I started to go to Atlas things and get involved with the organization, I realized that, the people from Southeast Asia and from Africa and Eastern Europe who can talk from personal experience about what it's like to live under totalitarian systems, what it's like to live in the kind of poverty that we just don't experience in the US. And they come back to the same principles, the same criticisms of big government. That helps you look at things anew. And people that, people on the left might think, oh, obviously we're in support of them because they're so sympathetic. It's great when the messages from there are more about, appreciate human dignity and how free enterprise unlocks it, and how the aid to government tends to diminish it. So yeah. I think it can be a game changer in how you look at things.
And some of your partners, specifically in China, but I know libertarian organizations in Putin's Russia, in the Middle East, they've been shut down, they've been jailed, and this is not a non-serious risk that they're taking.
Yeah, it's also incredibly humbling, and one of the great things is that the spirit of community where they say, "But your work is important too." Yeah. Or my brother, when he first came to one of our events, he was sitting with Venezuelan businessmen, and this is back in sort of early Hugo Chavez days, and he was like, "Oh my God, these guys are like, I feel like I'm talking with Captain Von Trapp, like just debating whether he can stay in his country or needs to flee it." And then when they asked my brother, what he was up to, and he was working on the Tabor amendments that were a big thing back, in the early 2000s. But he explained it in a self-deprecating way, saying, "Well, I'm trying to keep government from, to grow at, this kind of an angle instead of this kind of an." And they said, like, don't diminish the importance. Like, if the U.S. messes it up,
right,
it's over.
It's all a glide path to authoritarianism, and I think one of the problems we have in our country is that we're so damn spoiled. We're not really used to government destroying our lives, and we're very wealthy, and in a lot of ways, maybe elections don't matter that much to us. But that's starting to change, and one of the things going on right now, which I think is an opportunity, is the conversation about the monopoly power of police, mm-hmm. and the disparate outcomes of our justice system, which is something that sort of transcends left versus right. It transcends conservatives and liberal, and we libertarians are kind of saying, guys, we've been talking about the dangers of government power for a long time. This is an opportunity to understand why that cop thought he had the power to do what he did.